Papercrafters Library. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this I Love Winter card featuring products from the Echo Park Winter Park collection. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how you can enter to win the Echo Park Winter Park prize pack. So let's get started. You're going to need a piece of Not Quite Navy cardstock that measures 5 1/4 by 10 1/2. You're going to score it in the center at 5 1/4, and you're going to fold along that score line with your bone folder, creating a card base that measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. You can set this aside for a moment, and you're now going to need a piece of white smooth cardstock, and here this is cardstock from Bazzill, so you're going to need a white cardstock piece that measures 5 by 5. Then you're going to need 2 pieces of designer paper, and here I'm using 2 different patterns that are found in the Winter Park collection from Echo Park. You're going to need some double-sided adhesive, and each of these are 2 different sizes. So your first or your top pattern or your more muted pattern of designer paper, here I'm using this soft rustic red color, measures 2 1/2 by 4 7/8. And then I'm using this beautiful bold snowflake pattern, and this piece measures 3 by 4 7/8. You're going to take your muted pattern and you're going to stick that to your white cardstock with some double-sided adhesive, leaving equal borders on the left, right, and top of your patterned paper. And it's just going to be a slight border of white around the edges. Then you're going to take your snowflake piece, this is your 3 by 4 7/8 piece of cardstock, apply your double-sided adhesive to the back of your cardstock, and you're going to stick this down slightly overlapping your top piece. So you're just leaving equal borders on the left, bottom, and right of your cardstock, aligning the edges of your designer paper or patterned paper here. And like I said, they will slightly overlap in the center, seeing as your bottom piece is slightly bigger than your top. You're then going to need your border element, and I'm using my border from my alphabet stickers element sheet found in the Winter Park package. And because this is an adhesive element, I'm just going to trim off a few of my scallops here. I don't need to run it right across the whole thing, seeing as my focal point of my card is going to be in the center, so I only need a few scallops. So I'm going to cut off, you can cut off 3 or 4, and run that along the overlap of your card. So I'm aligning this with the edge of my designer paper, and I'm just going to stick that down there. And then I'm going to cut another small section again, and I'm going to place that on the right hand side of my designer paper as well. So you could, if you wanted to, I would like to save as much of this as possible to use in another project, so I did just trim off some of it. You could use maybe even 2 or 3 little scallops, depending on what size your focal point it will be in the center. So now you can set this aside, and you have your matted cardstock here, and I'm going to stick that to my card base at this point using some Stampin' Dimensionals. So flip that over, apply some dimensional foam in each corner of your cardstock, peel off the backing, and you're going to stick that to your card. And I want my card to have a top fold, so I'm making sure that my scored folded section is towards the top when I stick this down. And you're just going to center that onto your card base, leaving equal borders on all 4 sides. So now we're ready to start to embellish. So you're now going to need a 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 inch piece of Not Quite Navy cardstock. And I've already gone ahead and I've die cut this using my classic scallop circles small from Spellbinders. And I've die cut a 4-inch scallop circle using the Big Shot. So you're just going to lay your die onto your cardstock and run it through your die cutting machine. You could use an oval at this point, and you may want to alter your card base to be a standard size card if you're going to do that. But because I went with a square card, I wanted to go with a circle, evenly spaced element in the center. So I've cut this, and this again is a 4-inch scallop circle. And then I took my piece of Baja Breeze cardstock. It was a 3.5 by 3.5 inch piece of cardstock, and I die cut a 3 1/4 inch circle using the Standard Circles Large from Spellbinders, and ran that through my Big Shot. And then I took the Snowflake embossing folder from Cuttlebug and ran the 3 1/4 inch Baja cardstock circle through that, and this just gave me my added dimension. If you don't have this Cuttlebug embossing folder, you could use any embossing folder that was a snowflake or anything that coordinates with your card base or your designer paper to give your center focal point some texture. And that's what I was trying to achieve here, is just to give this background for my sticker embellishment some extra texture to the card base. So I ran that through the Big Shot. And now you're going to center and stick this circle to your scallop circle using some Stampin' Dimensionals. So just place a few dimensionals on the back of your 3 1/4 inch circle. Remove the backing. And you're going to stick this to the center of your scalloped circle. So now that you have that done, you're going to flip your matted scallop circle over, apply some double-sided adhesive to the back of your scallop circle, and you're going to center and stick this to the middle of your folded card base. Press that into place. So now we're ready to build onto our slightly embellished card. And to do so, I have cut out my snowman from the sticker embellishment sheet from the Winter Park collection from Echo Park. So I'm going to peel that off the backing, and I'm just going to stick that to, actually I'm going to stick this down using some Stampin' Dimensionals. This card is quite dimensional heavy, but it just gives that added pop, and it looks so cute when it's finished. So sometimes you find you need to add some extra dimension. This is a great way to do it, and I just want my focal point to pop off this card when I gift this. So peel off the backing and stick that centered to your embossed circle, just like so. My next step is to add an embellishment to my snowman, and I've already gone ahead and die cut my small heart using the Spellbinders Presto Punch heart dies. So I've used my smallest heart, and I've die cut the heart from a scrap piece of my coordinating patterned paper, and I used the red, the muted red that I used at the top of the card to die cut the heart. So I'm going to stick that heart to the snowman using a dimensional. I'm just going to stick that directly to the front of my snowman, just like so. My last basic embellishment here is going to be my greeting. So I've gone ahead and I've cut out a greeting flag from white cardstock, and this piece of cardstock measures 3/4 by 5 inches. I then have my title, which is a cardstock sticker element, and this is the I Love Winter greeting. So I'm just going to peel that off, and I'm going to stick that directly to the center of my white greeting flag here. Once you have that stuck down, I wanted it to stay white because I wanted the greeting to blend in with the background. You're going to need some paper snips, and you're going to cut a fishtail in both ends of your greeting flag. Just like so. And you're going to slightly round this. If you can use the end of your paper snips if you want to round just like that. You want it to just gently round. You don't want to crease it. So slightly round your greeting flag. Bend that a little bit, and you're going to stick this over the bottom portion of your snowman with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So flip your greeting flag over and place a dimensional at each end of your flag, and you're going to stick that to the card by peeling the backing off. And like I said, you're going to stick that directly over the end of the bottom of your snowman, like so. So my last step, or my last final embellishment, is to add some black rhinestones. And I think that these are going to add such a really cute touch. I'm going to add some tiny rhinestones to my snowman's eyes, just to make him pop. And then I'm going to place a larger rhinestone at the end of my flag. And then finally I'm going to also place a rhinestone in the center of my border. And if you wanted to dress it up even more, you could always add a small rhinestone all the way around your scallop circle, like so. I think that that's enough, so I'm just going to stop there, and there you have the completed I Love Winter card. So let's take a look at this week's Freebie Friday prize pack. As part of the collection pack, you'll receive 12 double-sided pattern papers. Then there's this 12 by 12 alphabet sticker sheet you see here. And finally, there's this 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock stickers, which features a wide variety of different elements. So all you have to do to enter to win this collection pack is visit the Paper Crafters Library blog and enter a comment in the post you see here. If you're watching this video from somewhere other than our blog, you'll find a direct link to this post in the video description section. The winner will be announced on our blog on Friday, February 10th. See you on the blog!